I'm sure you've heard me talk about my dogs before, Frankie and Sophie. Well, Frankie's right here and Sophie's right here, and they're my bookends. And it's hard to get them on camera though, but someday I'll get some pictures up. You probably see them walking through the background every now and then. But it reminds me of a story that I heard, and I don't know if it's real or if it's a story that was made up, but I'm sure you may have heard it before too, but is talking about the lessons we learn from a dog. I want to talk to you about that today in your morning cup of inspiration. I think it's interesting because dog spelled backwards is God, and I really believe as a reason why they say a dog is man's best friend. I want to tell you the story. It's about a family that had an old dog, and it's about 13, 14 years old, and he was about to be put down because he was sick. And the vet came over to administer the euthanasia, and they had a 6-year-old boy that was standing there with the dog and petting him and holding his paw until he saw the dog pass on. And the family started thinking, well, what is the little boy thinking? And they started talking to the vet about why people live longer than dogs. And the boy said, well, I already know why. And when they said, why is that? He said, because when they're born, they don't know anything. They got to learn how to forgive. They got to learn how to love. They got to learn how to be around people. He says, but dogs already know this. And he goes, and they're born like this, so they don't have to live as long. And he walked away. And I thought that's pretty amazing. It's a great story. There's a gentleman by the name of Mark Farrell, and he wrote down a few observations, which I thought was interesting, on if a dog was a teacher, the things we had learned. And it's so much like what we had learned from the Bible, reading stories in the Bible. It says, when your loved one comes home, always run and say hello. Isn't that just like the prodigal son coming home and the father ran down to get him, welcome him home? When your loved ones come home, always run, say hello. Never pass up an opportunity to go for a walk. How else are we going to meet our neighbors? How else are we going to be able to share Jesus with them if we never see them and we don't know who they are? Allow yourself the experience of fresh air and wind. Boy, I agree with that. And that's a great time for meditating. It's a great time to thinking on the word of what I read that morning. It says, runs, jumps, and plays daily. Wouldn't we all run and jump through hoops to be with Jesus, to see him? Boy, just get that exercise too. The Bible tells us that. We're not just supposed to sit. We are supposed to keep moving. Nothing about retirement in the Bible, you know. Upgrade your attention and let people touch you. Boy, isn't that the truth? We need to let people get closer to us too so that we can minister to them. We are the light of the world. Jesus lives within us. We need to share that with other people. Avoid biting when just a growl would suffice. Jesus got angry. We know he got angry, but he never called down fire from heaven to destroy. He got angry. And we can get angry, but we're not to destroy. We are to use that anger for good. On warm days, lay on the grass. I think of the people that are listening in the Sermon on the Mount, sitting up there and listening, and they're just enjoying it, laying on the grass and taking in God's word. Never forget, when someone has a bad day, stay silent and sit close and gently. Make them feel like you're there. As Dan had said before many times, just show up. Just show up. Just be there when someone's having a bad day. And when you're happy, dance around and wag your entire body. And this reminds me of King David dancing before the Lord. People thought he was crazy, but God was smiling. He loved it because he was worshiping him and dancing before the Lord. So that is the secret of happiness, really, when you think about it. And this is what a dog will teach us. And I just love how it corresponds so much with teachings in the Bible. I hope that blessed you today. And I look forward to seeing you again for another Morning Cup of Inspiration. Have a wonderful day.